It is Monday, May 31st. Happy Memorial Day to everybody. Um, Jasmine Sanfilm, that tarot goddess here. I promised you guys that I would be going live a little bit this week, so hi, I'm here. Um, just wanted to talk a little bit today about the tarot and the missing link between using achieving your goals. I'm gonna wait for people to pop on really quick just because I know it's a holiday and a lot of people are like out and like doing stuff. We are not because it's New Jersey and New Jersey in May is temperamental. So we've got a whole bunch of we had plans, but they got canceled because weather. It's actually today's the nicest day, but it's still there's no sun and it's like we want to be out in the sun and it's like okay. But I got fancy anyway because I felt like it and I'm just going to be here chilling just chatting with you guys. Let me make sure that this is actually it is. It's cool. We're good. All right. So for those of you who don't know me, if you have caught me on public stuff before, or you're just like scrolling through and you're like, who is this chick? What is she talking about? My name is Jasmine Sanfilon. I am also known as that tarot goddess. I go live on Fridays and I do card readings, both tarot and oracle. I'm an expert master tarologist, a certified Reiki master, both in Usui and Kundalini Reiki. And yeah, I do all sorts of wonderful witch magical stuff. And today I'm just going to be talking to you guys a little bit about the missing link between tarot and your goals. Okay. Now, what is tarot really for? The thing about it is that you can use it in any way that you want. And that's one of the reasons that I love it so much. Um, the way that I use tarot is as a self development, personal development, manifestation tool. Okay. I use it to get in and get all the information that I need about my energetic state at any given time for my personal life. Okay. The beautiful thing about it is that because there are so many cards in each deck, because each deck has its own personality, because each deck has its own little bit of energy. If you talk to a lot of different readers, some will say that it doesn't, some will say that it do. Most of the readers that I know can tell the personality of their decks. So for me, I use different decks for different purposes, but the whole thing about it is that tarot has both information and instructions built in. Okay. The information helps you to see where your energy is going. It helps you to see where your energy is at. And if you've been following me for any amount of time, you guys know that for me, everything that has to do with getting what you want in your life is about where your energy is. Okay. It's about what you're putting your energy towards. It's about what you're paying attention to. It's about how you react in certain situations, all of the things that you do for yourself and for other people. That is what comes up. Okay. In terms of all of that energetic stuff. Right. So as we are working with the tarot, you'll notice that, if you go to get a reading, you'll see some readers are very specific on the kinds of questions that they answer, the kinds of questions or concerns that they deal with. The most popular ones that you'll see is whether or not you're going to be rich and famous and get married by the time you're whatever. Okay. Because that is what society's idea of success has been for so long. Okay. That's not how I read. And the reason for that is that I read for you based on what your goals are, not based on what society says your goals should be. Okay. All of those little hidden things that you don't want to admit to yourself, that you don't want to say out loud, all of those little, shadow goals, I'd like to call them, that are hiding in the background that are really motivating you. Those are the things that I read on. So if you come to me for a reading and you ask me what somebody else is thinking about you, I can give you that information, but I can tell you right now that that information is not going to get you what it is that you're looking for in your life. It's just not, because it's not really the important question. The important question is, why are you wondering so much what that person is thinking about you? Like, why does it matter? And if it really does matter, what is it that you can do about it at that moment in time? So that's the difference between me and a lot of other readers. Now, in terms of the instructions and the information, every one of these cards has a really beautiful meaning, quote unquote. Hey, Aquila! Has a really beautiful meaning behind it. And those correspond to different energies. Okay. The information is the energy baseline that the card is reading as it applies to your individual situation. Okay. And the instructions are what you do to shift that energy. Now, Not everybody goes into the what you do to shift that energy stuff. And how you get to that information is you seriously ask the cards that question. That's the thing. You get the information and the instructions by asking the right questions. A lot of times people ask why. Why is not a bad question, but it's a secondary question. You have to figure out the what first, and then you can get to the why. So you can always do, your four W's and an H. You can who, what, when, where, why, or the five W's and an H and how with your cards. But then you have to consider what you're going to do with the information once you have it. Okay? Because you can only what it said to me is it just going to happen. I can't use instinct to predict it, but it will happen. Yep. You can use well, the thing about there's a difference between instinct and intuition, Aquila. Your intuition is much more subtle than your instinct. Your instinct has a tendency to, when it comes from your brain instead of your spirit, it has a tendency to get you into this place where you're overthinking. Okay. And so you try to make connections where there are none, or you try to say, because this happened, that's going to happen, and that kind of stuff. And that gets very complicated very quickly because your brain will just go into overdrive trying to solve a problem that wasn't really there. Okay. And that is where we run into problems, making everything into a sign and then doing things based on things that aren't really signs. And that can get very frustrating, especially if you're working on a goal. All right. Now, in terms of asking the right questions, it really is as simple as, hey, Sequoia, as going ahead and saying, this is what I need to know. And sometimes you can write it down first so that your head is clear. Like I always recommend journaling with your cards or journaling before you read your cards, unless you're very, very clear on what it is that you're trying to figure out. Okay. So for example, if you're in a relationship and you're trying to figure out where is this relationship going? Now, I don't recommend reading on your own personal relationships. Why? Because it's a whole lot easier to just go to the person and ask them how they're feeling. Communication is key. And if you're feeling like something is off, something's probably off. Will the cards give you a clue to that? Sure. They will. They absolutely will. But they're not going to tell you what to do. You know what to do. Okay? You know what to do. So you got to get clear on your own feelings first before you start going into the cards and looking for answers, because they're not going to fix your life for you. You have to do that. Okay? So going back to the relationship example, where's this relationship going? You shuffle cards. I would really recommend only using one at a time at first. You pull it out, you get a card, and it's like Ace of Swords reversed. It's not going anywhere. That's and there you get your answer. And the thing is that when you have the information, you can say, okay, so what am I going to do about it? And then you know what you want to do, and you'll either get your confirmation or you won't. Okay, what am I going to do about it? Going to be logical and move on and do something else. Queen of Swords. Okay, now those are the kinds of questions that you can ask yourself to get yourself moving forward on various things that are happening in your life for you. Okay, now the challenge comes when you hear stuff you don't want to hear. This is the issue that tends to block people from using the information that they get in a reading to help move themselves forward. Okay. And the reason is because when the cards tell you about yourself and you're not ready to hear what the cards are telling you, okay, you're going to be like, no, that's not, I can't, that's not really a thing. I'm just going to ignore that. That's not, and go right back to your old patterns. Okay. And those old patterns are the things that are keeping you stuck. Bottom line. Okay. The other thing that the cards can give you is a little bit of a warning. And warnings aren't a bad thing. It's just a, hey, heads up, if you continue down this path, these are the things that might probably happen. Okay. And that will come and really help you to guide you along any path that you're on. Because you can say, I don't know if I feel so comfortable with that. And then, of course, there's always free will, and you can always make your own choices. There's nothing wrong with making your own choices. But if the choices that you're continuing to make are keeping you stuck where you don't want to be, then that's when we have to start doing something different. And the tarot can provide you with the information to do something different. Okay? Now, the beautiful thing about it is that what you've got once you have the information and the instructions is the opportunity to make a change. Okay. When you have the info, the instructions, the confirmation, and the warnings, you got your whole toolkit. You have your whole toolkit. All you have to do is say, okay, so this is what it's saying. And then, of course, you check in any other way that you would like to. You can always check in. You check in with yourself. That's where learning how to pay attention to your intuition comes in. You check in with your goals, like what you're actually trying to accomplish, and see if what you're planning on doing is going to get you to where you're trying to go. You pick little places to check in. Check in with your tribe, not if they're the kind of people that are going to always put you down, though, because that's not going to get you where you need to be. You need to have people who are going to support you and who are going to encourage you to follow your own truth. Okay. So as you're doing that, you check in and then you're like, okay, I've got all this information. I know what I need to do. I have confirmation that I'm on the right path, and I know what I need to stop doing in order to get where I'm trying to go. Then you've got a game plan. And you can start moving forward and doing the things that you need to do to make a change in your life. Okay. I highly encourage people to do this on a regular basis. Daily, I pull my cards daily. It's part of my life. It's part of my routine. It's part of how I roll anymore. Do it daily for a week and see how you are standing in your own way. Come up with a set of questions that you need to get centered, get grounded, get focused on what it is you're trying to do, and get yourself moving. Okay. Do it daily for a month and see what happens. Okay. I did a challenge in my group 2 months ago. Maybe it was in March. It might have been 3 months ago now. Hey, Nicole. And that resulted in a lot of people being able to use the cards to change their lives. Okay. And I would love to challenge you guys to do the same. You can hop in my group. We're probably going to run it again for June, which starts tomorrow, so that people can see like the actual daily changes, daily steps, daily things that need to happen in order for you to move forward. It's really so important to have a tool that you can use to tune into your intuition, because without these tools, without these things that help us step a little bit outside of ourselves, we have a tendency to go completely into head mode, into brain mode, into thinking computer mode, and that allows us to get caught up in the what ifs, or the if stuff's going to go wrong, or all of those little things that cause problems for us when we're really trying to goal set and get moving forward and like really trying to do stuff for ourselves. Okay. Tomorrow I'm going to go live about the major arcana and the pathway to manifestation that is in the major arcana. On Wednesday, I'm going to go live about the cups and the pentacles, those two suits, emotions, and our physical bodies. And on Thursday, we're going to talk about the swords and the wands. And on Friday, I'm going to put it all together for you guys. Okay. We are going to be doing a challenge in my group again. I just made that decision right now. A daily card pull challenge. There's a PDF that you can download and all that other kind of stuff. I have more content coming. If you guys really want to learn how to do this and put it into your life on a regular daily basis, right? Join my group and check me out on Patreon. Okay. Patreon is where I have my membership program. It has a lot of different tiers. There are opportunities for you to see how I work with the tarot, learn tarot magic, learn tarot rituals, learn all of the energies that go into this so that you can use those energies to change your life. Okay. Because that's what we do here. All right. We're in the business of changing lives, because you can have everything that you want. You absolutely freaking can. The thing that needs to change, though, is you. But if you don't know what you need to change, nothing's going to change. And the cards give you a clue to that. All right. Aquila is asking, which cards do I use? Oh, girl, I have so many decks. On my desk right now, I have 4 tarot decks and 6 oracle decks. And then in my cabinet, I have several more decks. I love card decks because there are so many different kinds. But the one that is my go-to right now is the Light Seers deck by Chris Ann. This is the one that I read with on Friday. My very first tarot deck was the Spiral Tarot, which is based on the Rider-Waite system. Most of these are Rider-Waite based loosely. I don't read Marseille because it's in French, although I do want to get a Marseille deck because they're freaking gorgeous. And I don't read Thoth only because it's a little bit more complicated in terms of the symbol. It's not really more complicated. I feel like it overcomplicates it. It doesn't need to be as deep as it is. So that's just me. But those are the decks that I have, and I'm always buying more because I love them. I love tarot decks. I also have a teeny tiny tarot, this little one. I have I can't remember the name of the one, the Biddy tarot deck. I think this is called the Daily Tarot, but I keep that one in my purse because it's like this big. And I, used to use that when I was at my desk at work, but this is my work now. So yeah, that's all I've got for you guys today. I will be going live again tomorrow, as I said. I will probably be dropping some. Yeah, I'm gonna go live and do some. What the hell do you call them? Because tomorrow's the first of the month, so I think I'm going on the first of the month. I'm gonna do Zodiac Tarot, which is basically going to be group readings. So for your zodiac signs, and you guys can get some general readings and stuff for that. So I love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. I will be posting this on my YouTube. I'm gonna have to edit it a little bit, but that's okay. I might not actually. I might just leave it just the way it is and just put it on YouTube, and people can be like, "What is this all about?" It's totally cool. But yeah, that's all I've got for you guys, and I will talk to you all soon. Have a lovely rest of your day. Bye.